The movie opens with Haley Keller, a young competitive swimmer, getting ready for a race. As she dives into the pool, flashes of her childhood come back.
What are you? Yeah, you are. Apex predator.
Memories of her dad cheering her on from the sidelines, always pushing her to be her best. She finishes the race, but it's clear she's disappointed with her performance. Later, in the locker room, Haley checks her phone and sees she missed a call from her sister, Beth. When they video chat, Beth warns her that a massive storm is headed their way and urges her to leave the state immediately. But Beth is also worried. She hasn't been able to reach their dad, Dave, and doesn't know where he is. Concerned, Haley decides to go find him herself. On the way, she runs into a police roadblock. One of the officers there is Beth's ex-boyfriend, Wayne, who tells Haley she can't go any further and needs to turn back.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, and I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
But Haley doesn't listen. Desperate to find her dad, she speeds off down a muddy back road to reach the house. She checks his condo, but finds nothing other than the scattered pictures of Beth and his wife. With nowhere else to look, she heads to their old family home, the one that's been up for sale for a while now. When she gets there, she's greeted by their dog, Sugar.
Dad!
Inside the house, everything feels eerie and abandoned. She will survive the flood, the gators, and daddy issues. The least you can do is hit that like button and subscribe.
Hello?
There's no sign of her dad on the main floors.
You there?
Then, she hears a noise and decides to check the crawl space under the house. It's dark, wet, and cramped down there. Crawling on her hands and knees through the mud and grime, she starts to feel more anxious.
Dad!
That's when she spots some scattered tools and realizes something isn't right. She spots his jacket, his radio, some scattered tools, and a trail of blood. Her worry grows. Finally,
Dad!
she finds Dave unconscious, bloodied, and badly injured, but he's still breathing. Relieved, Haley tries to drag him toward the stairs, but they only make it halfway when something terrifying happens. A massive alligator bursts into view. Haley quickly pulls Dave behind a set of thick metal pipes. Thankfully, the gator is too big to squeeze through. They're safe for now. Eventually, Dave comes to. Haley gives him water and checks his wounds. His leg is completely shattered. Dave tells her she shouldn't have come,
Why did you come here? You need to go now.
that it's too dangerous, but she refuses to leave him behind. Then, Haley notices her phone lying nearby. She knows it's their only shot at calling for help. She tells her dad to keep talking so she knows he's okay, and she carefully crawls back into danger. She manages to grab the phone and dials 911. But before she can say much, a gator lunges at her from behind. It grabs her leg and yanks her back. Haley fights back fiercely, kicking and clawing until she breaks free. But just as she tries to run, another gator appears in front of her. Now she's surrounded. Thinking fast, she uses her surroundings to trick the gators and slips past them. But in the chaos, her phone drops, and one of the gators steps right on it, crushing it completely. Bleeding and exhausted, Haley keeps running, but one of the gators is still chasing her. She grabs a nearby screwdriver and drives it straight into the gator's eye, finally stopping it. She rushes to safety, diving back behind the pipes, but she's now separated from her father again. Her dad, Dave, calls out from the other side of the pipes, asking if she's okay. Not wanting to worry him, Haley lies and says she's fine, even though she's in pain and bleeding badly. She patches herself up as best she can, crying through the pain. Gators on the floor, water through the door. Hit that like and sub, or your gator chow for sure. Haley knows they don't have much time. She decides to try reaching the front of the house to call for help. Dave warns her he saw gators near the stairs. But Haley moves forward anyway. As she crawls toward the front, she spots 3 strangers across the street at a gas station.
Dad, I see some people! Help!
She quickly flashes her torch to get their attention. The group is looting the store. 2 of them, Lee and Marv, are trying to load an ATM onto a boat,
Come on, Stan, time to go!
while the third, Stan, is inside grabbing supplies. Marv sees Haley's light and starts to investigate.
Mom, I think there's some people in that house.
But just as Lee is about to get into the boat, a gator explodes from the water and kills him in seconds. Marv turns in shock, but it's too late. Another gator lunges and drags him under. Haley watches helplessly as the chaos unfolds. Marv manages to escape for a moment and rushes to warn Stan. But before they can react, another gator tears into Marv, and Stan watches his brother die right in front of him. Frozen in fear, he tries to run, but a gator catches up to him too. Back under the house, Dave hears the commotion and tells Haley to head for the hatch by the front door. He guides her, follow the walls, and she'll reach the spot where the pipes lead up. Haley follows his instructions and reaches the hatch. But it's stuck, blocked by a table on top of it. No matter how hard she pushes, it won't budge. Frustrated, she asks for a plan B. But Dave tells her this was plan B.
Plan B?
That was our plan B.
Out of options, Haley decides to try the overflow drain. Dave warns her that's where one of the gators came from. Just then, Dave hears something. A sound. Someone might be outside. As the storm worsens, help finally seems near. Wayne, a police officer, and Beth Sex arrives with his partner Pete in a boat.
Dad, it's the police!
They've been sent by Beth to find Haley and Dave. Pete waits in the boat outside while Wayne heads into the house. Haley screams for help, and Dave starts banging metal pipes with a shovel to draw attention. But the wind and rain drown out their cries. Wayne makes his way through the flooded house and eventually finds the crawlspace entrance. At the same time, outside, Pete notices something strange, a gator tangled up in a backyard swing. Suspicious, he moves in for a closer look. Back inside, Wayne discovers the entrance to the crawlspace and sees Haley and Dave below. Just as he tries to enter, Dave urgently warns him about the gators.
Hey! 2 gators down here!
Wayne stops and calls out to Pete, but it's already too late. The gator in the swing breaks free, and as Pete tries to flee, multiple gators lunge from the floodwaters and tear him apart in seconds. At that exact moment, a gator bursts through the crawlspace, attacking Wayne. He's dragged inside, screaming and struggling as Haley rushes to help. She reaches for his hand, but the gator is too strong. Wayne is killed right in front of her. Devastated, Haley runs back to her dad. She's panicking and overwhelmed. Dave holds her, trying to calm her down, telling her she's always been a fighter.
And I saw you. And that's when I knew this kid's a fighter.
That even when things seem impossible, she never gives up. With tears in his eyes, Dave looks at Haley and says, "We're not done yet. We're going to fight."
But we do not give up. We are gonna beat these pea-brained lizards.
Haley and Dave know they're running out of time. They hatch a desperate plan. Dave will distract the gators by banging the pipes, giving Haley a chance to escape upstairs and find a safer path for them both. Dave starts slamming the metal loudly, drawing the attention of a nearby gator. As it approaches, Dave waits for the right moment, then traps it and beats it with everything he's got, ultimately managing to kill it in a brutal, intense struggle. Meanwhile, Haley moves cautiously through the waterlogged basement. Just as she reaches the stairs, she spots another gator lurking nearby. She tries to back away slowly, but it catches her movement. Haley manages to trick it and slip past. She leaves informing her father she's heading for the drainage pipe. But as she crawls into the tunnel, she realizes she's entered the gator's nesting den. The narrow space is filled with cracked eggshells, and in the shadows, she sees Wayne's lifeless body lying nearby. Suddenly, one of the gators enters the water. Haley spots Wayne's service weapon still holstered. With no time to hesitate, she grabs the gun just as the gator lunges and grabs her arm. Screaming, Haley fires multiple shots at point-blank range. Despite being badly injured, she kills the gator.
Answer me!
Killed one!
After surviving the gator in the drainage tunnel, Haley carefully crawls out into the open. But the nightmare isn't over. Another gator is on patrol. She ducks behind debris, holding her breath, trying to stay invisible. Just as the gator starts to sense her presence, Haley makes a desperate dash, narrowly escaping as it lunges. She reaches higher ground and spots rescue helicopters circling overhead. Haley screams at the top of her lungs, waving wildly, but no one sees her. Soaked and exhausted, she breaks back into the house and finds Sugar barking and panicking. Down in the crawl space, Dave is slipping away. Moments later, he goes under. Haley doesn't hesitate. She smashes through floorboards with a nearby tool and pulls her father out of the flood waters, only to find he's not breathing. Fighting panic, Haley performs CPR, giving him chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth in a last-ditch effort to save him. After agonizing seconds, Dave gasps back to life, coughing up water. They both know they need to get out now. Outside, the streets are completely underwater. Their car is useless, but Dave spots a chance. The looter's boat, floating near their submerged garage. Haley worries about the gators lurking below, but Dave warns her. They attack what splashes. Stay calm. He grabs Sugar, and they carefully wade through the floodwaters. Then suddenly, the levee alarm begins to blare. The levees break, sending a roaring wall of water into the town. Dave turns to Haley, voice fierce with urgency. You're faster than they are.
You need to swim. You're faster than they are.
Haley runs for it, dodging debris and predators, and just as a gator lunges, she jumps into the boat. She fires it up and rescues Dave and Sugar just in time, but the force of the flood sweeps them backward, crashing them back into their house. Despite clinging to each other, Haley and Dave are ripped apart by the rising flood. Haley is thrown into the kitchen, scrambling to higher ground as a massive gator patrols nearby. She waits for the right moment to move, but the floor gives way beneath her. She plunges into the water and narrowly escapes the gator's jaws. In the distance, she spots Pete's old police radio floating among the debris. It's their lifeline. Meanwhile, Dave struggles through the flooded home, searching desperately, and finds a box of flares. On the other side of the house, Haley risks it all to reach the radio and,
Hello, can anybody else? Yes, hello!
soaking and breathless, calls for help. A voice answers. Haley gasps, I'm trapped. Coral Lake. Please send help. Dave rescues Sugar, lifting her to safety, when a gator lunges from below and rips off his arm. Haley, horrified, races to help, but Dave shouts at her.
Go! Swim!
The gator is right behind her. Haley dives into the flooded bathroom and slams the door. She braces against it, but she knows it won't hold for long. Thinking fast, she darts into the shower stall just as the gator bursts in. Then she pulls a bold move, flinging the door open, letting the gator in. In a split-second escape, she bolts out, leaving the beast trapped behind her. She races back to Dave. With no other option, they make for the roof. Haley opens the hatch to the roof and helps Sugar and her wounded father Dave climb up. Just as she's about to follow, she sees it, a rescue helicopter hovering nearby. She grabs a flare and rushes to signal them. But suddenly, another gator bursts through the house. Haley tells Dave to go while she handles it. As she tries to escape, the gator lunges, grabbing her arm in its powerful jaws. In pain but not giving up, Haley grabs a flare and plunges it straight into the gator's eye, forcing it to let go. She stumbles outside, barely holding on to the edge of the roof as the floodwaters try to drag her under. Then, another gator appears, but before it can strike, a floating pole crashes into it, sweeping it away. Haley is losing grip, but just in time, Dave grabs her hand and pulls her up. They catch their breath, finally safe for a moment. Suddenly, Sugar starts barking, and Dave spots it. The helicopter is heading right for them. Haley stands up, raises the flare high into the air, and waves. The helicopter stops and hovers above them. They've been found, and the movie ends here.